I'm gonna fucking crush out chat. I'm gonna fucking crush out. Hmm?
You and me both.
It's not going well, girl.
Hi, it's tech issues time. Can you hear me?
I can now, yes. Took a little bit. It's fine. Listen. We are going... Wait. Wait, can you not? Oh, Anya cannot hear us. One moment. Oh my god, no. Why can't you hear? Testing?
Hello?
Hello for the love of God.
Oh fucking god. Ah, thank god. Can hear you, okay?
Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's perfect.
Hi everybody.
Oh, I'm gonna crush out.
What an afternoon it has been already. Hello everyone.
What a fucking afternoon. For anyone who is not currently aware, Discord is exploding, so don't worry about it.
I live in there.
All of my friends are there. What do you mean it's down?
All of my little dudes.
That aside, how have you been today, Anya?
I've been pretty good. It's been a pretty decent day. All things considered. I'm really tired still.
It's okay. And likewise, I hope everybody in chat is doing well tonight. Don't worry about tech issues. Okay?
I've never worried about a tech issue in my life. I make a point not to.
Just think about it, considering
all my issues are tech issues.
I was literally about to say that.
That's where I was about. I was gonna go to. I heard you set it up, and I was like, "We're having a brain moment, okay?" happy to be here. Very excited.
Honestly, likewise. It's always a delight spending time with you. Just got home from a long trip that started 6 or so hours ago. Hellish.
Like
Nightmarish.
6 or 7 hours.
Of course. This is a thing that keeps coming up occasionally around me, because I'm a European, and it's like 6 hours for any trip is like a nightmare for me. 4 is already too long.
When I visited the UK, when I informed people that, yeah, I'm driving from London to Manchester over the course of a single day, that's like a 5-hour trip. Everyone looked at me like I was a fucking maniac. And I was like, yeah, that's like a long drive, but like... Okay.
Nightmarish. Nightmarish.
You wouldn't survive America.
My sister lives like 4 hours away, and we meet like once a month or every 2 months because it's too fucking long to do otherwise, and only because they have like a residence literally beneath us.
Insane.
Oh, God. But Mahoyo Day, exciting times. We're getting to see more witch lesbians. Potentially,
Yeah.
hopefully.
Considering hype.
Alice continues being the most interesting character in this VN by like a mile. And you see this?
Perfect. Please, God, let me see it. Okay, we're good. It took a second to pop up, but it popped up.
Whew, okay, we're fine. We're good.
I was really worried for a second there.
4 hours is like a whole day, but still not that far. Oh, God. Been obsessively creating a crossover fanfiction of Yu-Gi-Oh! And Warhammer 40k. Fair enough. I know nothing about either of them. Those are two extremely dense franchises that I have not had the spoons to even touch.
We're live. We lived, despite the issues.
Despite the horrors, we stay silly. I was almost worrying, like, about to ask chat if, like, everything was fine on their end, but it's Discord that has a problem, not fucking YouTube.
Maybe it's the whole internet. Like I said, it's the end times.
It's the end. Okay. Sorry to, like, make a tangent. That's where on the fucking screen, but do you know how it felt to wake up, like, those months ago when there was the Spain-wide blackout? And not having any fucking idea of what was going on. And hearing people outside mentioning that it may be the entire, like, European Union having a problem. And I was like, what? Huh? What? Huh? Is it happening? Is it finally happening?
It's finally happening? No, I feel that, though. Like, it's the, like, oh, fuck, is it over?
What did you mean with Claude? I don't know what you heard, James. I think you misheard me saying anything here. Believe me when I say wholeheartedly, I don't care for any AI except the one currently hosting this beautiful stream with me.
Is it me?
Yes! Obviously!
Oh, fuck.
Last time we did the funny side stories, so we get a new full, proper chapter now. Just nights. Just nights. 3 nights. Oh, you weren't talking to me. My bad. Let me tell you how the events of yesterday transpired. On moonless nights, you must never look back. Oh, are we dealing with fucking folk stories and ghost stories now? What is a lesson? Or was it a warning? It was so very long ago. At the time, I could not have imagined what my very being could become. One night, it came without warning. I was filled with an anxiety so heightened that it made me want to burst into tears, so I fled to my grandfather's workshop. Unlike the grandfather I knew, he smiled and kindly placed his hand upon my head. Oh, I see. I think this is the grandfather, and I think you voiced him last time.
Did I?
It was like the first episode.
I don't remember anything about anything.
Old man voice.
Yes, the Red Death follows your every step.
I love this specific brand of old man voice of yours.
Thank you.
Rather than consoling me, he sent me home with only those haunting words. That night, I was certain that I sensed a shadow lurking behind me. Something or someone watching me from afar. Then, little by little, year by year, it drew closer. Eventually, the presence that once felt like a spot on the horizon grew so close that I could feel its breath down the base of my neck. Of course, it was all in my mind. When I turned around, nobody was there. But that night marked the beginning. In hindsight, I later understood that the indescribable anxiety I felt was the dread of certain death. Oh, fuck. Oh, it's so simple but so good.
I love how her singing sounds.
Yeah?
Oh, I'm supposed to read this. I'm so fucking stupid.
Don't worry about it.
Hey diddle diddle, the cat and the fiddle, the cow jumped over the moon, the little dog laughed.
How much time has passed since that night? It lingered deep in the recesses of my mind where childhood memories are kept. A faded, storybook-esque memory. On dark nights, I still hear the faint echo of my grandfather's words. But no matter how strong the wind may howl, or how entrancing the song of the girl next to me, I could never bury his ominous words completely. It's here. Or it... Oh, okay, that was Alice, actually.
It's here.
Difficult to tell them apart, you know? The girl beside me said. Alice's inflectionless voice spoke volumes of her role as the bystander. That night, there was only me and her. It was the night I could mark as the birth of who I am today. For what should have been quite a memorable night, it sure wasn't a promising start. Dense clouds blocked the starlight above like a black umbrella. Strong wind tore through the sky, carrying the heavy clouds with it. The hands on the clock in the middle of the park pointed skyward, as if reaching for the moon. Unfortunately for them, tonight there was no moon to point at. Hey! Nice warm wintry outfit.
That is a cozy looking coat.
Yeah! The winter air grew fiercer as the night wore on. Inhaling felt as though it would freeze me from the inside. The air chilled me to the bone, threatening to pass up my spine directly to my brain. To prevent my mind from being paralyzed, and to prevent my fingertips from becoming stone, I sparked a fire using my internal rhythm and emotion.
I'm transferring tactile feedback to you. Good luck. Stand over there, and the engraved will-o-wisp will ignite.
I responded to Alice with a nod. And then, for just a moment, I saw the ground. My legs quivered ever so faintly. I told myself they were shaking from the cold, but I wasn't so sure. In reality, they may not have been numbed by the cold, but by fear. I breathed a sigh of relief. My humanity must still be intact if my emotions are still present. Before I could sink into a pool of my own sentimentality, the sensations from the bounded field flowed from Alice into me. A transparent wall covered the entire park. An unrecognizable carpet rooted deep under the earth. Alice Kunoichi's chants of the Moregoose fairy tales permeated the night. The sensations became one with my body. I felt goosebumps on my quivering right arm. Are those Aoko's fucking circuits? Oh!
That's good.
Oh, I love that. Oh, comparing them to fucking Shiro's is so interesting. Someone had trespassed. The goosebumps crept up my right arm like ants, and slowly but surely made inroads for my heart. Holding back the desire to drive them out, I waited for them to reach a certain definitive position. A moonless night. The park's quaint streetlights were not enough to lift the darkness. The ants came to a stop. Far, far from my right arm, they had reached my very heart. Even without the aid of my sense of sight, I could see the intruder lurking in the darkness. To starboard, in the bushes about 30 steps back, on all fours, it was beckoning with its right hand. There! The enemy's movement and my perception of it were in lockstep. I spun around. The enemy's arm stretched out like a spear. This lethal weapon, aimed at the back of my head, brushed my hair at breakneck speed. With the omniscient awareness granted by Alice's word, I managed to avoid it by the skin of my teeth. My hair fanned through the air from the violence of the attack. The strike grazed my cheek, and I felt a small, sharp pain. It felt like the kiss of death. I switched the flow of my body's blood to a different cycle. The blood running through my veins at a few feet per second transmuted into an imaginary element. My body became a single circuit, and my heart transformed into a completely different engine. Within me stirred an unknowable motion of immeasurable heat. Something mystic, yet untapped by humankind. That made me who I am. It was the fire of life behind all miracles and fables. What we mages called magical energy. Connecting. I turned around, set the enemy in my sights, and held up one hand. My arm was the agent of my will. My lack of experience meant my magecraft would only be possible with the use of vocalizations and gestures. Magical formulae were engraved all over the park. All I had to do was ignite them. I needed to direct the flow of the magical energy within my body into each formula. Typically, a mage acts as a conduit. Whether wired or wireless, the mage simply pours magical energy into the formula. Releasing this energy in the form of a projectile, stream, or any number of other methods could usually suffice, but in my case, it was the feeling of my limbs whipping out. Burn! I fought speed with speed. The enemy's arm, extended 10 feet forward, became engulfed in flames. It was nighttime at the park. The scene, reminiscent of a campfire, but one in which the center of the flames contained a humanoid figure wriggling like a shadow puppet. The flames subsided just as unnaturally as it had ignited. No crackling, no burning smell. Woo! Let's go circuits! Hey, Sana! That was the fucking start to the stream. I fucking love mage bullshit. You can have the banded field back. I'll check the remains. After telling this to Alice, I headed toward the motionless figure. I killed it. I killed it. I killed it. Regardless of who my opponent was, I just took someone's life. My throat parched. I swallowed the truth that without this sense of reality, I could have been helpless. So hard and bitter. Impossible to swallow. But I tried anyway. I was unnervingly calm. My heart pounded and my breath felt heavy, but my mind was nonetheless calm. By the time I realized it, the charred remains were already in front of me. Bracing for a counterattack, I carefully examined the corpse. Everything seemed fine. This body lying slumped on the ground was nothing but ash. Huh? But something wasn't right. To begin with, its remains didn't smell organic. Not willing to believe my hunch, I took a closer look at the corpse's face. All that greeted me was the featureless white face of a mannequin. Damn it, they got us again! Screaming, I kicked the mannequin. The corpse crumbled to ash and disappeared with the wind. No, this wasn't a corpse. This was just a puppet. And for all of our efforts to lure the master out, we had once again been tricked by a familiar. My debut, my first test out in the open, could be postponed for another day. Will I ever pass this test? Huh? Look at that nice skirt too, the dress underneath.
That's actually such a fit with like the warm leggings underneath. Oh my god.
Yeah. Also, sorry. Good luck, I'm behind 7 familiars. It's insane. At that moment, I suddenly noticed something familiar in the corner of my eye. Something seemed strange about the slide on the other end of the park. It appeared as though its shadow were larger than it should be. Was I still drunk on the high of battle? It took me a second to realize what it was. Who's there? Calling out was a mistake. Startled by my voice, the figure, wearing a familiar high school uniform, took a step back and then it broke into a sprint. Hey! 2 people battling with a flamethrower and that spear, you say?
I wonder who that is.
like a long arm and magic that makes fire? I think we see what fucking Sojourner just saw the night before. Though he was scared of the fucking woman in the fucking little gambling den that he works at. Someone running for their life. Or should I say, he was doing exactly that. After him, we've been spotted! In a rush, I shouted to my partner, but she hadn't even noticed a third party's presence in the first place. Though, it wasn't as if I could move by myself. Embarrassingly, the fight had taken out more than I could have liked. I see, so she's not exactly a good mage at all, huh? She is very new to all of this. I really like this. No, he will get away. We need to catch and eliminate him. There was no time for niceties. For us, being here was a matter of life and death. Wait! Get back here, you... Shaking off the numbness in my legs, I made for the park's exit. I had to admire his escape. The witness, party to the entire night's proceedings, had disappeared into the darkness of the residential district without a trace. Why the hell didn't I send him in the field? Complaining to myself, couldn't bring back the figure in uniform. Bitter at my own incompetence, I gave up the chase. Though temporary, the park had become Alice's woods. For anyone within a few feet of the park, other park goers and identifiable features and voices became murky, like the stuff of fairy tales. Night's proceedings may have had a witness, but if our identities were still hidden, then this was still a chance. That looked like a male from behind. I returned to the park. That uniform was, without a doubt, from my high school. There was clue enough. If he was a schoolmate of mine, I had plenty of methods to flush him out. It's one thing after another. Amidst my grumbling, I set my priorities straight. Before some strange rumor spread, I needed to seal the witness's mouth shut. That was the highest priority, quickly and without mercy. Very, very mage thinking. Oh, man. Looking up, I saw Alice's previously distant figure. Though she was in as much trouble as I was with her existence as a mage also exposed, she had but one thing to say.
This means trouble.
Her statue-like figure, staring into the darkness, seemed more expressionless than calm. I was pissed off. Her inscrutable voice resembled the moonless night so much it made me angry. Oh man, I love this too. Oh man, I love these two.
They're such a fun, like, I don't know. Their dynamicism is very exciting.
Yeah. Oh man. Blues in her name. Oh. There really isn't any other way of saying this. I am a magician. Kind of like those witches in fairy tales who live alone in the woods and perform miracles with the wave of a finger. While the popular depiction of it differs from reality, it's closer to the truth than you know. Though, just so we're clear, no, I don't fly through the sky on a broom, but this is Witch on the Holy Night. What are you going to do instead? Come on.
Sorry, I'm entranced by the way the trees are parting.
Yeah, the parallax. I cannot transform into animals or speak with small birds. Modern mages are nothing so fanciful. Oh, our existence sounds unbelievable, but we're quite grounded. Though it may seem like we can do anything, we're actually majorly constrained. And while I still have a lot to learn about it, this is my real job. Sounds a lot more romantic than being a high school student, right? Naturally, this is a secret I don't just share with anyone. A mage must do everything in their power to conceal their work. That is the first and most important of the association's 10 laws. Not that I'm tempted to let the cat out of the bag in the least. My secret identity as an honor student is intact, and absolutely no good would come of me revealing my true nature. If anything, it could only lead to more headaches. That's why I do everything in my power to keep it a secret. Of course, if I'd accomplished anything as a magician by now, then maybe I'd see it differently. I fantasize about revealing my secret life's work to a single, special person when I finally make something of myself. Yeah, it'd be pretty stellar to just confess one day, by the way, I'm a magician. That idea alone is enough to keep me from spoiling the big reveal, regardless of the association's rules. My grandfather patted me on the head when I shared these thoughts with them. I don't know if that was praise or what, but I remembered that his touch was gentle. I first learned that I would be succeeding my grandfather on the day I graduated middle school. When I returned home, there he was.
Our elder sister left on our journey. From this day forth, you are the heir to the Ozaki.
He said it in such a matter-of-fact way. I knew that the Ozaki family passed down this old tradition of magecraft, but to be honest, I never imagined I would be the one to wield it. Magecraft is supposed to be passed down to a single child, It was my sister's role to take the mantle, and I had no interest in dedicating myself to so many rules and routines. I planned to live a normal life. I had hopes and dreams for the future. I felt bad for my sister, but I was determined to live my life my way. And while I managed to do just that for a time, I was blindsided by a vicious counterpunch. Since then, I've been thrust headlong into a world I had only observed from afar. It was a hell of a way to start high school. But I suppose it wasn't all that bad, all things considered. A lot has happened since then. I was so dazed by this newfound life that a year of school motored right by. I was second year before I knew it. Thankfully, nothing drastic has happened. 6 months my roommate and I totally tried to kill each other, nonwithstanding.
That tracks.
Girl! Oh my god. As it happens, I got a natural talent at this magic stuff, so I've yet to have any hangs up there either. I'm only human, so I've had my fair share of headaches for sure, but never once did I worry about my future. I thought my life could be smooth sailing all the way. If only everything had gone to plan last night. I do really love this setup as the second child of a mage family that was not supposed to inherit. Oh, that's so good.
It's juicy.
Mmm.
どう
I can't. Indeed. Well,
Alice Kwanji asked Kaoko Ozaki the second she entered the house. Her dark eyes succeeded where her voice failed to communicate the gravity of the situation. Aoko took off her unflattering coat, hung it on the hanger, and sat down on the sofa. Alice sat across from her, with a table separating them.
そっちは
Any progress with those things?
良くないわね。
Not at all. I've only got 7 left that are good or any good for reconnaissance. I've been using them up fast and haven't had time to make more.
Alice's gaze drifted from Aoko to the box on the table.
あの夜、街を監視していた奴はいないの？
Were none of them keeping watch that
街の警
night?
察は完璧なんでしょ？
They never let you down when it comes to this sort of thing, have they?
それは昼間の話よ。
During the day, no, but there's quite the risk when flying them at night.
Meaning they were of the least use when needed the most. Aoko sighed.
そういうあなたは朝は随分と強気だったけど。
Well, how are you faring? You seemed pretty confident this morning.
ああ、こっち
Yeah,
は
I
予定
guess
通り。
everything's good on my end.
明日までには絞り込める
I'm
と
pretty sure I'll know by
今
tomorrow.
朝
I told Tobimaru to look into all of the students' addresses and schedules.
あの時間に公園をうろつくやつはめった
Not
にいない
many
し
people wander the park that night, so it should be easy enough to figure out who it was.
そう簡単に行くの？
How can you be so sure?
行くわよ。
Because I didn't just join the student council to keep up appearances. I've been using my position to keep tabs on everyone. I have info on everything from part-time jobs to friends' addresses to what they're up to in their spare time. It's a list I was hoping to keep secret, but we can't afford to do that now, can we? That's why I keep the vice president around. It's the kind of thing he does best. Incidentally, the creation of the secret file started the moment Aoko became student council president. The mere rumor of its existence was enough to strike fear into the entire student body.
そう。徹底しているわね。
As thorough as always, I see.
Alice was only mildly surprised. It had been almost 2 years since they first started living together. She knew as well as anyone that when Aoko put her mind to something, she saw it through to the end.
ま、私もあれがこんな風に役立つ
Well,
と
I
思ってもな
never imagined I'd have to use it like this. But it's better to be safe than
その
sorry.
憂いなしとはこのことね。
But what happened last night was far beyond a mere exception to the rule. This predicament should not have even been possible.
それより原因は分かったの？
More importantly, have you figured out what went wrong? And don't tell me it had nothing to do with your link to the bounded field. Aoko glared at her. The word was Alice's responsibility. If it was to blame for last night's trouble, Alice had to own up to her fair share. Alice and Aoko may have been roommates and partners, but it was a relationship of convenience. While lineage had brought them together, they were more like enemies than allies. The spice.
Roommates and partners, you say?
Ultimately, they were just not a match. Where there was a blunder, it was punished. Where there was an opening, it could be attacked. If there was even an opportunity, the two of them could kill each other in the event of such a moment. Oh man, oh,
A
that's
single
so...
tick of the clock. That's so poignant.
Oh, oh my god. Now you see, to the untrained eye, people could be unaware of what this relationship is, but to me, a homestuck.
Dead ringer for Kismesis, dude.
Yeah. Alice locked eyes with Aoko. Aoko's fierce gaze could make a grown man cower in fear, but Alice did not bat an eyelash. Sorry. The reflection of the 3 lights on the ceiling on the fucking window behind her.
So much thought has been put into the space they are in, and it shows in every single thing we are seeing.
仮の話だけど、あの結界に落ち度があったのなら、今まで
Assuming
何
the
度も
bounded
こういう
field
状
was the
況になってい
problem,
たでしょう
would
ね。
this have happened countless times before?
I suppose you're right, Aoko agreed, as the question reaffirmed her trust in Alice.
結界のあり方は完璧だったのね。
So you're saying there was nothing wrong with it?
絶対とまでは。
I honestly can't say for sure.
Alice answered as flatly as ever. A bounded field is like a sanctuary sealed away from the real world. Steps are taken whereby a certain area is cut off from the outside world. There are various kinds of bounded fields. There are physical ones that close off an area behind a wall, and less tangible ones that use mirrors, mist, or trees to conceal that which occurs within. However, when closing off an area to the outside world, you cannot avoid communicating the abnormality's existence. In other words, the area may be closed off to the outside world, but it is impossible to hide the fact that it is closed off. In time, someone will take interest in a sealed off area, even if they cannot see what is going on inside. Some might say this is putting the cart before the house, the horse, horns. The ideal field could be one that was both undetectable and impervious to interference from the outside. That was exactly the kind Alice had generated in the park the night before.
その場所に用があっても、今はないよう
Even
に
if someone has a reason to be in a place, they shouldn't enter if you made them forget their reason for being there.
隠したい場所の周り
It
に
takes an immense amount of time and energy to create a field that produces a temporary illusion around the location you wish to conceal. But they prove extremely effective for at least an hour or so, right?
アリスの鏡を使った一級
And to top it all, it was top class, made from your mirrors, and it's not like they shattered while we were using it. The only other presence I felt inside was that of the puppet. That isn't a perfectly constructed bounded field, then what is?
私もわからない。森作りに落ち度はなかったわ。
I have no idea. The trees were prepared perfectly.
森は数日かけて栽培した
I
ものだし
cultivated the trees and plants over
今まで
several
通り
days,
信頼できる結果
and it's always proved to be a reliable
けど
field.
例外があ
But
ったのな
maybe,
ら
just maybe,
どこかで見落とし
there
が
was something I didn't account for.
Though Alice's words conceded the possibility, her eyes expressed her confidence that she had overlooked nothing.
参った。
Well, crap. In that case, we'd better hope that the witness was the puppeteer, which could make sense. A mage could probably be able to penetrate it. Something else bothers me though. How did he avoid detection? The thought of being targeted by this individual was pretty terrifying. If they were able to penetrate Alice's field, it could only mean that their skill in magecraft was superior to Alice's. Alice, in her current state, could be completely helpless against such a foe.
I've already determined it was not a mage. This was most certainly an outsider. The Starlings are one thing, but not even Robin was able to follow him. There were no traces of magical energy, so that rules out a magical pawn.
Aoko was quickly running out of straws to grasp at. And that meant she was out of questions to ask. All she could do was call it bad luck and leave it at that. Firstly, you get found out that you're a mage, then you let the witness get away. Why couldn't I just have a normal high schooler problems? The sofa groaned as she leaned back. Her gaze went up to the brown ceiling with a sigh. It wasn't much of a view. She was becoming increasingly depressed.
Aoko, make up your mind.
Her roommate's voice seemed indifferent. But Aoko just kept staring up at the wooden ceiling.
If you're not up to the task, I can take care of it myself.
The cool-mannered girl's statement carried an equally icy implication. Aoko took the words in slowly with as much sincerity as she could muster. It was like trying to swallow molten lead. She's right, and I've already made up my mind. The thought sounded hollow even as it popped into her head. This was clearly different from last time. While the aim was indeed the same, the circumstances surrounding her target were clearly different. She may have been determined before, but that was as a mage. If enemies emerged, she would kill them. If she was challenged, she could step up to the fight. It was a fight between two mages, and her opponent was in the wrong. Even if this could only end up in death for one of them, it was an outcome both parties could accept. Kill or be killed. Morality had no weight on the scale. But this time was different. Her opponent was neither enemy nor mage. Even if she was prepared to kill them, this person was likely not ready to die. That's why morality did factor into it now. Was she truly up to the task of murdering an innocent person? Could she swallow the fact that this was a common occurrence for a mage? She snorted sardonically. Being a mage did not mean that Aoko was some kind of monk who could cut ties to the real world on a whim. If there was one thing Aoko hated, it was doing things without conviction or an understanding of exactly why she was doing them. When she acted, she preferred to act decisively. I guess I don't have any other choice. As she said it, she got up from the sofa, having had her fill of the ceiling. For one day. Aoko had returned to the alcove always, and Alice was done probing her.
Take this.
As if to reward her, Alice produced a small bottle. It fit neatly in the palm of her hand. The bottle looked completely out of place in her slender fingers. The glass was cloudy and it appeared empty. Sorry, look at the rendering on this fucking thing. Look at those reflections.
So, I know what that label feels like.
Also, kinda wild that Sojiro wasn't detected by that. I know my fucking Nasu protagonists. I want to learn what the fuck is wrong with this boy.
This boy is an exception somehow, I'm just sure of it.
Some shreds of paper remained on the front where there was once a label.
何よそれ
Oh, what's that? Aoko stared at the bottle suspiciously. It's your estrogen. You forgot it today.
Did you remember yours?
I'm having them literally right now. Bottoms up, chat. Ah.
収納の小瓶
It's a storage bottle. I had one to spare, so I'm giving it to you.
はい
A what?
名前は忘れたけど
I forgot what it's called, but it's a thing out of a Chinese novel.
Aoko was miraculously able to parse what Alice meant.
それってレンゲ堂の兄弟の
Are
話
you saying that this is the red drinking gourd from this story about the two brothers who guarded the Lotus Cave?
言いたくないけど
Don't take this the wrong way, but it looks like your everyday medicine bottle with the label ripped off. Sorry. That's a really funny sprite. I need to send you this one.
I love this creature.
Alice looked at the bottle and acknowledged how ordinary it looked. She also understood that she could not be the one using it as she set it on the table.
赤いひょうたんじゃなくて
Except this is a jade flask, not a red drinking gourd.
そういう問題じゃない
That's not the problem. The problem is maintaining my dignity as a mage.
些細なことを気にするな
Don't get stuck on the details.
正路が
Just be happy it's not a bottle of laxatives.
Fine. She made a good point.
蓋を開けて相手の名前を尋ねればいい
Just open the lid and ask for the person's name.
Sorry, the fucking little reflection on the table.
That's fantastic.
Oh.
ただし相手に抵抗する意志
But be careful, because if the target is resistant, the bottle will shatter.
Aoko raised her
ちょっと
eyebrows.
待った
Hang
す
on.
る意志があると
If he's resistant, I can only use it when he's asleep, right?
それは試したことがなかった
I've never tried it, to be honest.
眠っているのに返事をする人
But is there anyone who responds to things in their sleep?
たまにいるけど
You'd be
まあ
surprised,
確
but
かに珍しいわね
true, people like that are rare. In that case, one could have to weaken them until they were about to pass out.
ああそうそう薬や魔術がかかっていると
Oh, I
その
almost
重さで
forgot.
も割れるから気をつけて
Drugs or magecraft will also cause the bottle to break.
すっかえな
Then what good is it? What won't break the damn thing?
それは青子次第ね
A tool is only as good as the person using it.
Alice turned away as she replied, as if the topic no longer mattered to her.
ああアリスがこういうことが
I know
好きな
you're
の
fond of
知ってて
using dainty tools like
これ
this.
も趣味な
Is it a
わけ
hobby of yours or something? Aoko asked, hoping Alice could deny it.
多分
Sorry, please give me a second. I left my phone in the other room and I can hear one of my alarms going off.
Wake up. Wake up, Anya. Bam, para, bam. Para, bum. You seen the angry sprite on the reflection too? Yeah, God, I love these two so fucking much. Oh my god. Once again, I love the feather of the cursor being like, here's where you're right now on the text. Looking like a little sweat drop on Aoko. Ah.
Hello.
And again,
Sorry about
hello,
that.
welcome back. No, it's fine.
そ
Perhaps.
れでどうするの
So, are you going to take it or leave it?
Without answering, Aoko dithered a bit before taking the bottle and putting it in her pocket. She figured she might be able to find some use for it. Two hours had passed, and the clock struck 9. Is this the first full wide view of the hallway we've gotten? God, that is a beautiful fucking manor.
I love the floral light fixtures. That's a small thing, but I'm quite the fan.
2 hours had passed, and the clock struck 9. Their conversation had moved from the drawing room to the sunroom, and had manifested into the kind of scene one could not expect in such a mansion. To be honest, I didn't really want to leave it to Tobimaru like this. A hot earthenware pot sat on the table. I did not know we were going to have a look at the food that they cooked in this one.
I forget what they're called, but those specific fish cakes, those big round ones. Oh, and they got... Oh my god, sorry, what is this, oden, I think it is? It's a very specific fish cake soup boiled in like a very light broth. There's also daikon radish in there, and in the center, next to the daikon radish, the round thing on the left, there's these little bags. They're like puffed tofu that have like little bits of mochi inside of them, and they're like tied up and boiled, and they are so fucking delicious because they just soak up anything they're in, and they're super chewy. Sorry, I have a bunch of stuff to make oden in my fridge, and I really want it now.
Yeah, baby. A hot earthenware pot sat on the table. Aoko spat out complaints to no one in particular as she plucked food from it with her chopsticks. Tonight, they were eating a traditional Japanese meal that looked out of place in this mansion. When it came to the kind of Japanese hot pot where all one had to do was buy and boil ingredients, it was usually Aoko's responsibility. Alice sat across from Aoko as she silently poked at the pot with a fork. Yamashiro made it a point to see that Shizuki had enjoyed the club. It's not like I have the time or energy to keep track of every single student. The egg she had plucked was still as silky as a baby's bottom, so she returned it to the pot. She settled for the shirataki noodles instead. I already know that the idiot is constantly busy with his jobs. That's why I tried my best to set him up with a club activity captain that'd be accommodating. But the nerve of the guy, not even a thanks. Are you even listening, Alice? As if her mouth was full, she simply nodded in response. Her expression stated that she had no interest in nor opinion on the matter, but she at least appeared to be listening. Satisfied, Aoko nibbled on some hand-pinned fish cake. I just can't trust anyone who says he's a great guy. Surprise, even Tobimaru was gushing about him. The only thing he's great at is being an airhead.
He's literally nice.
I mean, there's really something wrong with his brain if he didn't get angry after what I said. Her thoughts went to what had happened in the student council room earlier that day. She remembered how non-responsive Sojuro had been to her words. His unconcerned face alone was enough for her to swallow the rest of her hampen without chewing it. Oh my god! Sorry!
Production value.
It's so subtle, it's so small and subtle, but look at that.
That adds so fucking much to the scene.
I thought you could understand, he says. His words were a lot like those that ended her childhood. You know, don't you, Aoko? Through it all, you never lose sight of who you are. You're so strong. As was meant as a compliment. But she took it as patronizing way to pity her. Because the person who said it had acted like she was looking at a wounded animal. Whatever. Who cares what that weirdo thinks or says? Now. Okay, so I thought that was just her making a deeper voice to, like, mock her grandfather saying something, but that may have been a different character. Most importantly, I heard that word, and I know that it does in fact also just mean weirdo in general, but she did say hentai, which can be translated to pervert. So that's a fascinating one.
Hell yeah, dude.
That episode might have made her the most confused she had ever been in her life. Yet, what shocked young Aoko the most was the look of pity on the face of the person she admired the most.
喧嘩
You fought.
Huh? The abrupt comment stopped her in her tracks.
ごめん聞いてなかった
Sorry, what'd you say? Something about a fight? Alice nodded.
あなたの感想だけじゃ状況はよく
I
つかめ
can't say
な
I
いけど
completely understand from what you said,
つまり青
but
子
it
は
does
そ
come
の人に
across as
喧
if
嘩
you
を売
were
りたかっ
trying
た
to pick a fight with him.
Alice bit into the very last humpen. Hey, so the outfit of Alice without the cloak with a like, little collar, like a necklace. Hmm. Her remark was unexpected but completely on point.
なんでそうなるのよ
Why did you go there?
私はあんな
I'd rather die than spend another second with him.
大体それどころじゃないし
I mean, seriously, gross. I have no interest in him whatsoever. I'd love it if I never had to say anything about him ever again.
ならどうして今そんな
It's
話
the
をす
while
る
to talk about him.
What? I was just reporting on today's investigation. Something wrong with that?
何があるっていうの
It is both the little animations, the fact that Alice uses a fork,
Food is disappearing as they
The-
go.
the fact that there's less food now because they have
The
been
daikon
eating.
is gone. One of the bags is gone.
Oh man. What other reason could Alice be suggesting Aoko had for bringing it up? It could be several hours later, in bed, that Aoko realized that she had dug her own grave. God, she's so stupid.
No, not really.
ただ
But
青
does
子
he
は
really
本当
bother
にそ
you
の
that
人が
much?
嫌いなの
Alice ate her hot pot in silence, as if she was honoring some sort of sacred ritual. Her face was indifferent as always, but she was secretly enjoying how flustered Aoko was. Aoko remained oblivious to this. Normally, she could have noticed immediately, but she was not quite herself at this moment.
本当にって
Does he
そりゃそうよ
really? Well,
気に食わないって何度も
of course he does. I think I've said that often enough.
そう具体的には
Okay. What specifically about him do you dislike?
は
Oh,
具体的
I don't
に
need
は
a specific reason to... She trailed off as she finally realized how disagreeable she was being. She could come up with no reason why. Her instincts had told her that she was incompatible with that hick. But why such a strong reaction? More than anything in the world, Aoko hated emotions without reason and decisions made with no rationale.
嫌いなもの
But
は嫌いなんだ
I just don't like him. I'm sure there's a good reason for it. I am going to go insane.
This is so good.
I'm gonna go bananas, chat. She became more flustered the more she talked. Unfortunately for her, she could not come up with a coherent reason to hate Sojiro Suzuki. It was not his fault that he had zero common sense. It was the fault of the environment he had grown up in. In fact, it was admirable that he was trying so hard to adapt to civilized society. As clueless as he might seem, he was not a complete waste of space. If he seemed a bit slow, it was only because his gentle nature compelled him to think before acting. When one looked at everything objectively, the conclusion was obvious. As much as she was loath to admit it, he felt he really was an unassuming do-gooder everyone had him pegged as.
ちょっと本気かっての
I can't believe what I'm thinking. Is there really nothing wrong with him? Sorry. The fact that she's racking her brain to find a reason to fucking hate him, and he's just
I
literally
love this
not-
girl so incredibly much.
There was plenty, so she left it at that for now. The chopstick she had been using came to a stop. She was getting very annoyed. An irrational hatred burned through her head. Unable to come to terms with her feelings, she desperately tried to analyze Sojuro, but her mind only went in more circles. Alice fixed Aoko with a deadpan stare.
呆れた。
I'm shocked.
A small sigh. Ooh,
らしくないわね、
The fit.
青子。
This isn't like you, Aoko.
oh shit, that's so pretty! Oh. Those words were the final blow. Aoko felt the floor fall from under her. She was unable to leave her chair until long after Alice had finished eating and left. However, even after getting knocked down, Aoko Ozaki was not one to be kept that way. She made short work of clearing up after dinner and, after conceding the first bath of the night to Alice, left the drawing room. Since it was customary in these sort of mansions to turn the lights off when leaving an empty room, the only lit areas of the house were the drawing room and the two girls' bedrooms. The upstairs was enveloped in darkness. Aoko briskly made her way to the deepest part of the east wing, along the long corridor, illuminated only by the light of the moon, and arrived at her room.
結論として、
All being said,
やっぱり騙し討ちは気に食わない。
sneak attacks make me sick to my stomach. Now, it could be that it only has one bath, which could be a very big oversight, but also a fun one. Or they could be, like, frugal about it, and they just don't want to fucking set up the two bathrooms, or the other one is, like, a really far away fucking wing, and she just doesn't... She can't just wait. Woo! She had been considering this on the way down the corridor. Or perhaps ever since she left the drawing room. The moment she entered her room, she drew her proverbial line in the
やる
sand.
にしても隠れるのはなし。
If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it face to face. I'll give it to him straight. This was not a concession driven by feelings of sympathy or compassion. For her, this was simply the way things ought to be.
そ
Okay.
うと決まれば。
With that out of the way, after settling her resolve, she headed to the study next door. Ooh. Fuck, man!
木曜棚の当時欄、緑の
That was
図
crazy.
と
Let's see. Thursday shelf for winter solstice, green spine. Without hesitation, she removed one book from the countless volumes on the shelf. The introductory textbooks transported here from the Aozaki residence were separated into 6 shelves labeled Monday to Saturday. Aoko had organized the books by topic, genre, and purpose, and had more or less memorized exactly what was in her personal library. Sorry, I know it's so small, but like between the chopsticks and now the book, like all of the little additions to the sprites to make them flow so well between scenes. It's so animated. Referencing any of this material took her no time at all. It was to be expected from keeper of the study. Though this keeper's fiefdom was nothing more than a small room. Both Aoko and Alice had given up all hope on the cluttered mess of a library on the annex. Nevertheless, on occasion, Aoko could have no option other than to give Alice a heads up and visit it when the study did not meet her needs.
できればそれは避けたいところだけど。
I really hope I don't have to go there now. Aoko placed the thick green book down and took a seat. The desk she sat at was sturdy but uninviting. It wasn't the sort of furniture girls her age grew attached to, but she liked its minimalist elegance nonetheless. She flipped lightly through the book's old, worn pages.
アリスみたいな結界は私にはまだ無理だ。
They still can't manage anything like Alice's bounded
人
field.
払いはその場所自体に頼らないといけない。
Guess I'll just have to find a place of the beaten track. The mountains? The woods? The school building empty at night? She was looking for a place that could be, except for the worst of luck, void of people, allowing her to forego the use of magecraft.
茨の壁だの魔力の霧だの。
Walls of thorns and magical mist are so indirect. If I want to cut off any escape route, I need some place flashy and obvious, both in purpose and looks. Muttering about how there had to be some basic spell that for her needs, she continued to flip through the pages. It goes without saying that she was looking for a way to deal with the witness from the previous night. Magecraft's uses were many, but not all-encompassing. Fundamentally, Magecraft was good for making things or phenomena that existed already, while more or less bypassing the time and resources conventional means could require. It was, however, unable to manifest phenomena that were impossible in this world. It was essentially an equivalent exchange that used a variety of shortcuts. A phenomenon made possible by human hands actualized by an individual's power. That was generally what Magecraft was. To give a simple example, if Aoko were so inclined, she could make an entire lake appear at the mansion. However, it had to be something that existed within this world. Nothing, not even the smallest matter, could escape this unbreakable law. Even if Aoko were to release a level of heat on par with an F-15 fighter jet afterburner, that event could only be possible if the circuit named Aoko Ozaki acted as a temporary input variable in a magical formula. The derived equivalence was simply a value that already occurred in reality. If the variable in the equation did not exist elsewhere in reality, the spell could not be valid. The imaginary element known as magical energy was like a light that could only slip its fantasy through the network of order at the moment of ignition. Giving form to the non-existent illusions, invading reality, the non-existent illusions invading reality, was something the universe did not allow. And me just seem blaring in the fucking background. Still, what was it? You can combine the imaginary factor ether with pretty much anything else since it's not real itself. Anything composed entirely of magical energy is little more than an illusion and will quickly dissipate. Even a typical field like a wall of thorns generally starts with the user planting the thorns first, before using magical energy to grow and strengthen them in an instant. In the end, magical energy is just an easy-to-use field source, while acting as a firework that ignites a phenomenon. Or so they say. Imaginary factors are all well and good, but all I can do is connect a basic circuit and process energy into a projectile. Laughing to herself, she looked for a bounded field or something similar more suited to her current ability. The identity of the witness was still unknown, but if they were a classmate of Aoko's, she had any number of pretexts by which to lure them out. The problem was, after that. Then it becomes a question of precision. If I don't take care of him in one blow, he might slip away. To be honest, she wasn't confident she could handle this smoothly without Alice's support. But Aoko saw no reason to ask for help, given that the target in question was a regular bystander. Fledgling as she was, she still had her pride as a mage. Sorry. Oh man. It's so small and subtle, but look.
Artistry, the grain on that wood grounds you so much in the environment you are in.
Oh, man. She continued to turn through the pages rhythmically. In the midst of the fluttering sound of thumbing through the volume, Aoko suddenly stopped her finger at a certain page.
見つけた。
Found it. She smiled to herself. It was a simple formula that she had tucked away somewhere in the recesses of her memory. A spell of simple destruction.
檻をね、作ればいいのよ。
A cage. That is all I need to make.
狩りをする時の上等手段
It's the oldest trick in the book that any hunter worth their salt could use. She placed a bookmark in the book, closed it, and got up to return to her room. Just spam gander. Suddenly, she felt someone watching her. Through the window, she saw her in the night. A girl staring back with a cold-hearted expression. The girl's face was hers, the expression undoubtedly her own. She began planning how to erase the witness. Though to say it was something as elaborate as a plan was overkill. This was just a job. She was going to make a cage and then lure her prey into it. There was no getting around it. Premeditated violence.
さ、そろそろアリスは上がったか
I
な。
wonder if Alice is done with her bath. She mumbled out loud, as if the bath could return some warmth to her chilled heart. Oh man, I love mages.
It's the ones that are almost human that are the most exciting, because it's like maintaining that interplay between being a mage and being a person.
Yes, oh my god. Also, you really can see the, like, origin of Ren here.
Oh, very much.
About 20 minutes had passed since she gave Alice the privilege of using the hot water first. Alice tended to bathe quickly, finishing well under 10 minutes. Her roommate was the type that could not understand the spirit of the bath, treating it as nothing more than a necessity for looking after one's body. For Alice, the concept of staying at a hot spring inn sounded more like a chore than anything, though in this regard, Aoko had to agree.
よし、浴場は空っ
Guess it's my time to... Huh? Is that the drawing room light on? It was unusual for Alice to sit in the drawing room after a bath. On nights when she had nothing to discuss, it was her style to return directly to her bedroom.
アリス、いるの
Alice? Are you in here? Alice nodded.
That's such a cute outfit.
Look at it!
That's how I dress.
That's why you had to voice her.
No, that's why I had to do it.
With no book in hand, it appeared that Alice had been waiting for Aoko.
そういうこと。
So that's how it is.
信用ない
She really has no faith in me, does she? Aoko scratched her head in exasperation. Was it that Alice worried about her or had no faith in her? Her expression was so calm, Aoko could hardly figure what she was thinking.
方針なら決まったけど、
I have a plan. Wanna hear it?
その顔を見れば聞かなくてもわかるわ。
I can tell what it is by the look on your face.
迷いがなくなったのはいいこ
It's
と
good
だ
that
け
you're
ど
no longer wavering, but
悪い癖
you must do something about that tell of yours, Aoko.
She's a lunar. Alice let out a small sigh. It was unusual for Alice to make such a display of her disappointment.
ええ、騙し討ちを
I don't
してみ
like
たら
sneaky attacks, so I'm going to do it fairly, and only after I told him why straight to his face.
それならすっぱり後腐れもない
That
し
way there will be absolutely no trouble later. Any complaints?
文句はないわ。そういうの好きか嫌いか
But I
は
have
一
any.
切関係ないでしょう
This is really only a matter of personal preference, after all.
けど
However,
確実性はどうかってことでしょ
You're worried that I will mess up,
い
right?
まいち命中率はある
My
し
accuracy hasn't exactly been stellar lately, so I was thinking about how to cover my bases with the location.
私はアリスのようにはいかないから
I can throw up a field like you, so I was thinking of doing it somewhere where he physically can't escape. Any ideas? Alice nodded in thought. The finger that gently rested on her lips indicated the question was to her liking.
鏡はどう？鏡の国なら
What about
永遠に
mirrors?
閉じ込めてい
You
ら
could
れる。
easily seal him in the house of mirrors for all eternity.
あんた、そういうところ常
Seriously?
識ないわよね。
That's your idea? She frowned at Alice's bad taste. It was the kind of idea her roommate found to be inspired, but Aoko knew was out of the question. Aoko was looking for a natural bounded field she could prepare, not a realm bordering on true magic that she couldn't create to begin with.
なら他を当たるのね。でも、ここを使うのだけ
Then
は
you'll
やめて
choose otherwise, I suppose. But please, whatever you do, do not bring him here.
言われなくても分かってる
You
って
don't need to tell me that.
She's gonna do it.
あーけど
But actually,
そうね
yeah.
ミラーハウスはいいや
A house of mirrors might actually work. Aoko smirked and shifted her balance away from the wall she was resting on.
サンキュー、アリス。
Thank you, Alice. I just figured out the whole plan.
ほんと。
I guess it's always best to talk to someone when you're in a bind. Now in a good mood, Aoko retreated from the drawing room. Alice tried and failed to visualize what kind of blueprint Aoko had drawn up in her mind, but whatever it was, it appeared to be the thorough kind Aoko was good at. Aoko headed for the bathroom, humming to herself as she went. A year and a half of sharing a living space had taught Alice something. When Aoko Ozaki was in this good of a mood, only deep travel could follow.
青子一人に任せていいのか
You want to know if I'm okay with letting Naoko handle this on her own?
It was unclear how long the bird had been in the drawing room. Chirping at Alice, the robin-like bird pranced across the furniture, as if it were its property.
そうね
Yes, I suppose. She said she wanted to do it alone, and I do want her to know she has my every faith. Still,
The girl in black raised her arm. The bird, chirping once again, alighted on her outstretched, affectionate finger.
嫌な話だけど
suffice to say,
信頼と信用
trust and faith are two very different things.
The bird puffed out its stout chest in agreement. And Aoko was none the wiser to her roommate's rather unsettling comments. Indeed.
God, I love these two. I love these two so much.
Fuck. God, the parallax. Fuck the sky. Fuck the power lines. Oh.
No, don't fuck the power line.
Nobody can...
You dork ass.
Oh, I really love these two. Holy shit.
They have such an interesting dynamic, and I love the emphasis on the difference of trust and faith, saying she has my every faith. I don't trust her like at all.
The following day was a typically overcast one. The day's classes ended as they had started, uneventfully. Winter break was just around the corner, and with it, final exams. Although Misaki High prided itself on discipline, it was still a private school which promoted a culture of independence among its students. Industrious students had a place to explore that side of themselves under the guardianship of the student council president. More easygoing students could spend their time after school as they wished, as long as they were mindful of personal responsibility. The fact that the poster boy of independence was the student council vice president indicated just how vast the spectrum was.
Zaki, you in here?
Toimaru Tsukichi, I love the way that just was a right ear sound.
Mm-hmm.
Toimaru Tsukichi, threw open the door to the satellite student council room, the rumor location for their secret meetings. Despite all appearances, he was the student council vice president, who also happened to be the poor soul responsible for executing the student council's dirty work. One person was waiting for him in the crammed room. Sorry, she's so mad already.
He is perpetually giving, like, that cat in front of the banana, going like, "Ee."
She's just fucking molding. Constantly. The student council president, Aoko Ozaki, sat imperiously in a folding chair, glaring at Tobimaru and his boisterous entrance.
Room's freezing as usual. You really need to buy a heater.
So as not to succumb to Aoko's oppressive silence, Tobimaru opened with some casual small talk. Thank you for coming. Let's get down to business. Do you know why I've asked you here?
I have an idea. It's up the formality, Ozaki. Pretty cold to talk shop right away all the time, you know?
Tobimaru closed the door and sat down across from Aoko. The Foley work continues being impeccable. He was holding a blue envelope. Yeah, and loose lips sink ships. Might remember that once you get out into the real world.
Alright, I'll admit. Wait a second. Nice try.
Tobimaru was halfway to agreeing with Aoko before he caught himself and began to shake his head. As much as Tobimaru enjoyed the lack of red tape in his new line of work, he was not ready to turn full spy on his first day on the job. So then, are you done with your investigation?
Yeah, I finished the last interview just now. Details are in the envelope, along with the file you gave me.
He tossed the envelope on the table. Good. Aoko picked it up and began to scan through the documents that were inside. She entered her own little world, not sparing the slightest bit of attention for Tobimaru. If ignoring other people were a skill, she could be a master at it. What?
Hello?
Hello?
Sorry, my connection just blipped.
Oh, sorry.
I just wanted to ask one thing.
Yeah? And? The room was filled with a chilling silence. Aoko continued reading without an ounce of emotion upon her face. Though Tobimaru kept up an air of indifference, his stare remained fixed intently on her.
You get a kick out of doing this kind of thing, Ozaki?
Of course not. What's so fun about gathering intel I hardly even get to use?
Right, just wanted to check.
Whether or not he was convinced, Tobimaru stood up from his chair with a disappointed expression.
You'll figure this out just by reading it all, but I wasn't able to dig up anything conclusive. By all indications, that there weren't any students in the area the day before yesterday. It's not like I can say that for sure, though.
No longer concerned over his task, Tobimaru headed toward the door. As if to say it was out of his hands.
Oh, and one more thing. Just one more thing. There was one student that wasn't included in your dragnet. You forgot to include any out-of-term transfers.
Aoko raised her head ever so slightly. He was right. The recent transfer student was not included within the scope of her investigation.
So I haven't even looked at Sonaji. Well, considering it's him, it's safe to assume that he was working late.
Oh, wait. It would be if he hadn't have mentioned something about seeing murder or whatever. Told him that it was probably just a bad dream.
Tobimaru cheerfully left the student council room. What? Simultaneously, Aoko felt her fingers go numb, and the document she was holding spilled all over the table. Can't be. That's not possible. She broke out into a cold sweat and tried to tell herself that there must be some kind of a mistake. However, the uncomfortable feeling in her gut could simply not go away. Perhaps because her intuition was almost always right at times like these. You gotta be kidding me. And yet, she knew what she had to do. She could not have hesitated to kill Tobimaru if he had been the witness. But what if it was who she was thinking of? Just considering the possibility caused her blood to run cold. Aoko put her forehead in her hands and began to brood. And then, suddenly, grandfather time.
Let us talk choice. You will always be faced with choices. A virtuous fool and a wicked sage. You cannot save both. You must pick one. That is the freedom granted to you.
2 years earlier, Aoko muttered the words offered by her grandfather the day she replaced her elder sister as his successor and let out a sigh of lament. This has to be a joke. She laughed at her own intuition, but it was no joke. If only those words had never been said. Why couldn't it have been Kinomi? Aoko locked up the student council room and left for the day. Calmly, as though nothing untoward had happened, she greeted the students as they passed her in the halls. She was almost shocked by how natural she seemed. There were still plenty of students at the school. The grounds were noisy with the chattering of students who had finished the day but had yet to head home. Others still had club activities. The grey sky looked ready to pour, but nobody seemed to pay it any mind. Amidst the clamor, Aoko hastened to the school gate. She passed by some students in an animated conversation. They seemed to be talking about their after-school plans. Apparently, they were adamant about maximizing their free time. She could not figure out how they could possibly be so irresponsibly focused on fun, but at the same time was in no mood to make fun or feel envious of them. 2 short years prior, she had been just like them. I wonder if I'm becoming desensitized to it all. She retied her scarf, this time more tightly, to keep off an air of solitude, but she was fooling no one. After all, what people who feign solitude are really masking is rejection. Solitude, rejection, they're two sides of the same coin. The area by the school gate was busier than usual. A group of boys appeared to be huddled behind it. Their transparent attempt to be discreet in terms of both location and loudness of voices did nothing to hide the fact that they were noisily arguing about a girl standing alone on the other side of the street. Oh! There she is. The girl was cloaked in a black cape. At first glance, it could have been mistaken for a normal attire, but those from Misaki could tell that she wore the uniform of a prestigious girls' school. Said school had no connection to Misaki High in any way, shape, or form. The two schools were miles apart both physically and spiritually. A member of that school's student body was a rare sighting, as the majority were forced to live in the school dorm. Reian Girls Academy had a reputation as a school for princesses, and it was rare indeed for one to be slumming with the common folk. I do believe you may know that name.
Might? I got a bad memory for proper nouns sometimes.
I think this may have been... I was told by someone that this was mentioned in Suki.
Oh, is that the fucking school that, How do I forget here? She's in my Discord banner. What the fuck's her name? The sister.
Fucking... I know her name too.
I'm looking at her face
Akiha,
right
Akiha.
now. Thank you. Yes, her.
I do believe it is the same. It is also in Karanokyokai. Yeah, this is the same school that she goes to.
Iconic. Very iconic.
Oh. That alone could have been enough to cause a ruckus among the boys, but this girl looked the epitome of class. One could not help but describe the standing figure as charming. The way she silently, motionlessly waited was reminiscent of a meticulously composed portrait. Aoko took one look at her before instantly recalling that one word, solitude. Okay, you lame brains, don't you have anywhere better to be? Disgusted, Aoko barged through the gate. At this point, she could normally head home, but today she crossed the street toward a waiting girl. Oh crap, is that the student council president?
Damn it, she's trying to chase her away. Let the girl be. She's the right to stand there if she wants to.
She's gonna know nuclear. The president versus the angel.
Gives, man. Who cares if she's from another school? She's not even on school property, right? Right, guys?
Don't mess with Madame Aoko. You're just asking to be smart. I fucking love this. The boys ran their mouths behind her back. Not in the mood to shut them up, Aoko walked right up to the girl and offered an informal wave. Something the matter, Alice? I told you before, there's nothing of interest for you here. For real? Aoko heard the boys by the gate lose their collective shit and did her best to ignore them.
I wanted to be sure, but... Aoko? Those people are a nuisance.
You think? I will chase them off. In contrast to Alice's small voice, Aoko spoke loud and clear. Naturally, this was on purpose, so as to deal with the riffraff by the gate all at once. Crap, she's coming this way.
Hey, stop pushing me. Move it. I'm out.
But doesn't it look like they're tight? Maybe we could get the press to introduce us.
Rookie mistake. You still haven't experienced the realities of the battlefield. On second thought, don't let dreams be dreams. It's your funeral.
Perhaps because too many of them had gathered in one place, the mob entered a frenzied panic as they tried to escape. Aoko addressed them all. Well, what do we have here? If it isn't the Go Home Early Club, could you mind telling me what you're doing gathered in a place like this with no club activities to attend? The student council president stared daggers at the boys. In any case, exams are coming up. It sure could be horrible if, instead of going home to study, you were loitering around just to ogle another school student now, wouldn't it? It's not like a single one of you had the guts to even go up to her and say something. Not one of them was brave enough to admit that this hit the nail on the head. If any of them had such courage, they could have already been chatting the young lady up. I think I forgot something in the classroom.
I thought it was gonna end like this. I would have had at least gone down trying.
What if we go borrow binoculars from the astronomy club? I'm sure we could get a good view from the roof.
The astronomy club doesn't have binoculars, dummy. If anyone does, it would be the Wild Bird Society.
The president straight those last months. If you have enough time for bird watching, you have enough time to find a girlfriend, chicken.
Find a girlfriend? Sorry, Zaki, I'm gonna cut out through the back exit.
I got a jet too. Later, press. See you tomorrow.
This is just washing over her, the poor thing.
And with those oh so charming remarks, the boys scatter with their tails between their legs.
You seem to be enjoying yourself, Aoko.
How could you tell? Fuck, dude. Aoko's response slipped out all too easily. In truth, there were not that many bad apples at Misaki High, and dealing with them wasn't really that bad. So? What brings you down here? Did you find something out?
I identified traces of the witness from within the field. All we need to do now is put a name to them.
I see. Alice, how long have you been waiting here?
Since school was dismissed.
So she had been here for roughly an hour. Standing in the same place for an hour could be taxing for someone as sensitive to the cold as Alice. I'm sorry. If you could have told me.
Don't be. I'm just doing it because I wanted to.
As she spoke, her black eyes were fixated upon the gate and the students passing through it. She had likely been observing the gate in this manner for the past hour. You weren't waiting for me, were you? Well, I'm here now anyway, so we can go. Alice nodded in assent. If Alice was still here, it meant she had not found the witness yet. If she had found the student, Alice would have already gone home ahead of Aoko and begun to research the student's background. Nothing came up on my end. She reported the results of Tobimaru's investigation. Alice remained silent. With that, the conversation ended, leaving the two to silently endure the freezing wind. The silent stakeout dragged on endlessly. Students continued to pass the gate, each shocked at the sight of the unusual combo, and headed home. After 20 minutes, Aoko let a sigh escape her mouth, perhaps from boredom, perhaps from the cold, or perhaps from both. Hey, on our way home, did you want to drop by Dawn? Aoko quickly turned to Alice to catch her reaction. Dawn was the name of one of Aoko's favorite coffee shops. Offering no clear indication as to whether she was critical of Aoko's blasé attitude or agreeing to her whims, Alice's gaze shifted ever so slightly. Aoko followed her stare.
Hey, Azaki. Are you meeting someone here too?
The sudden voice took her off guard. There was only one person who spoke with this gentle, good-natured tone. Of course it'd be him. Turning her back to Alice, Aoko moved her focus to the newly appeared student. Can I help you with something? All politeness flew out of the window. Already in a bad mood, Aoko's mood plummeted the longer she looked at Sojuro. The subtlety of her expression, however, was lost on him.
No, thanks. I was just on my way to the station to meet the swimming club captain, and I wanted to say thanks.
Oh? Well, that was completely unexpected. Thanks. Joining a club? Aoko had a hunch that he was about to say something brainless. And by thanks, you mean payback, right? Fortunately, Sojiro was completely unaware of the more sinister implications to the word payback.
I'm not sure what you mean by that, but it's no big deal. It's just that the swimming club captain said that the club doesn't get that busy until summer.
Sojiro was just about to thank her for recommending a club that could not take up much of his time when Aoko cut him off with an expression of disinterest. Well, of course, I couldn't very well introduce you to a club that I knew you could never turn up to. All I did was mention some that even someone as busy as you could join.
I see. Very efficient.
His open admiration for her sapped Aoko's will to fight. Finding a suitable club and negotiating with its captain hadn't been an efficient use of her time at all.
Anyway, you really helped me out. I just wanted to say thanks.
Sojiro gratefully dipped his head, but not before the flustered Aoko stopped him. Give me a break. You're just gonna give me a headache if you do that. So, how is the swimming club? Does it seem like a good fit? An awkwardness infiltrated her previously sharp gaze. Sojiro was able to pick up on the odd change in her behavior, but could not divine its reason. So he simply started with what he knew so far and reported the most recent information he had.
Oh, I got kicked out of the club already.
What? Why?
I love this guy. I love him so much.
Why is he like this? Why is he like this? Aoko instinctively shouted at the unexpected response. Like a human jack in the box. This unexpected development threw her mind in a tizzy, and she momentarily forgot the complicated feelings she had been wrestling with. But you just said you were on your way to meet the captain!
Yeah, but the captain's taking me to a heated pool in Yashirogi.
Sojiro stated this very matter-of-factly to the still reeling Aoko. I'm not following. Things seem to be going fine. Why would they kick you out?
Oh, that's easy. Because I can't swim.
Oh my god. I am
So much. Oh, he's stupid. I love him.
Oh, she's molding. Aoko reached out with her fingers and pinched the bridge of her nose as she processed his answer. Shizuki, do you remember my question from yesterday? The one where I asked whether you prefer running or swimming. I'm confident that I remember your answer, but please repeat it back to me. You said you preferred swimming, right?
Yeah, since I was little I always wanted to learn, and I'm already really good at running, so...
Her energy spent, Aoko finally understood. I'm gonna pass out, dude.
Fuck, dude.
It's like they took Shiro and made him like the world's most autistic little man.
Now, what if he had never seen society before?
Oh my god.
I love this man with all of my heart.
If anything happens to him, I will, like, kill someone.
Apparently, they would have taken me in and trained me from square one if it were my first year. Sadly, it sounds like they can't recruit a second year like me who sinks like a rock, especially with only 3 months left in the school year. But the captain was really nice about it, and even offered to teach me how to swim.
Sojiro's words were spoken from a place of joy, a fact that failed to reach Aoko. So in other words, I tried to palm off defective goods. I'll never be able to show my face to the swimming club captain again. Wait, but isn't the captain a... Shizuki, the swimming club captain is... She stopped herself, short of a girl. She was afraid of how that might look, that she might not be able to rein herself in if she started. You know what? It doesn't matter. I understand now, so you can just go. Far. Far from here, okay? I just can't deal with you right now.
Elber Hunter said the same thing, come to think of it. Said you were unusually tired yesterday and today. Did something happen?
Kind of, but it's fine. It seems to have resolved itself.
Live Alice reaction.
Anyway, how do I look to you, Shizuki? Do I really look that exhausted? Why hatch Yasum this? Blurting out things for no reason and an impulse. This was not usual for Aoko. Perhaps it was because she realized that this could be their last chance to have a normal conversation. After a few moments of contemplation, Sojiro conjured up a grin that cut straight through the tension.
Well, I would say you look a little more lively than you do tired. Like a wolf that's been forced to plow fields for a long time, but is excited to finally go on a hunt again.
Ooh, that is a comparison, boy. Oh, man. He seemed so cheerful. Like he was so happy for her. Without thinking, Aoko's hands went to her cheeks. If what he said were true, and she was grinning from ear to ear, was just no way she could have made such a mistake.
Anyway, thanks again. See you tomorrow.
Perhaps still not comfortable enough to wave to her, he said his goodbye with sincerity in his voice and smile, and took his leave. Wait, I have a question for you. Then you can go. Aoko called out after him. Her voice was cold as she admonished herself for having been somewhat affable earlier. This is just a hypothetical question. Let's say you're on the brink of starvation and right in front of you are two animals, also starving. Someone gives you a gun and tells you to shoot one of them. The one on the right is a lion, the one on the left is a kitten. What do you do? It was a fable-like moral dilemma. Especially the way in which it was cruel and rather preachy. The kind that if you thought too hard about it, you could never find an answer. Sojiro answered quickly and calmly.
I don't think I'd shoot at all. You asked me what I'd do, right? Come on, all three of us are starving.
He was not in the least fazed by the dilemma. He gave the most innocent response. So innocent, in fact, that it could give anyone pause. You're going to live a long life, Shizuki.
You think so? I think it's the first time anyone's ever said that to me.
Adorning his face was a smile wholly out of sync with his comment. The heck is that supposed to mean? She regretted stopping him. If only she had just watched him go, this conversation could have never happened. Sojiro Shizuki made his way down the slope street. Today, just like every day, he probably had to work late again. Only Aoko and Alice remained, with Alice doing what she could to simply blend in. That harmless hick really throws me for a loop. Aoko clenched her right fist tightly as she cursed out loud. Anything to prevent herself from screaming at the top of her lungs. Whether that scream could be directed at Sojiro or toward herself was another matter entirely.
Aoko.
Aoko heard Alice's soft voice behind her. Aoko knew what she was going to say, and she had known for the entire time. Ever since Alice, having shown no reaction to any of the other students, changed her expression upon seeing Sojiro. You don't need to say it. It's him, right? The witness. Her voice was cold as ice. It was the voice of someone talking about a complete stranger. The lion and the kitten. There were pros and cons to choosing either of these animals, the point being that she had asked him to choose one of them. In terms of risk, the lion was the more dangerous choice. The instant the gun was pointed at it, there was the chance it could fight back. Those who chose the lion required more courage, but any sense of guilt that came with holding a gun could be forgotten. Lions were fierce creatures, a poor excuse to shoot an animal perhaps, but one that certainly helped alleviate the guilt. But what about the kitten, the weaker creature? It goes without saying that the kitten could be the easier target of the two, but choosing it could be a disquieting decision for anybody. Even if the kitten had no chance to survive, it was still too senseless to carry out. And to Aoko, Sojiro was that choice. I knew it was him too. When she had felt that sinking feeling in the student council room, she ignored it. There was no getting around what must be done, she told herself. Until that is, Sojiro went and said what he did, causing her resolve to waver. But the discomfort in her chest did not stem from any guilt she may have felt. She could care less for Sojiro. He was weak and would be incredibly easy to deal with. Yet, for some reason, she could not dispel her reservations. A transfer student who moved to the city from the middle of nowhere, with no family to speak of. Few could notice if he were to suddenly disappear compared to a person of some renown. If she were to kill him, it could be as simple as wringing a cat's neck. And it all served to just piss her off. It was too lucky, like everything was neatly handed to her. She wanted to just drop kick it right into orbit. I can't believe it. I hate it. This isn't how it's supposed to be. Why am I like this? Standing behind her, Alice heard all of the muttering. Nevertheless, she seemed to ignore it and said,
He had something wrapped around his neck.
A wholly unrelated topic. Aoko returned to her senses. His neck?
Yes. I wonder if that had something to do with being rejected by the swimming club.
Alice had put much thought into this, as if it had a deeper meaning to her somehow. I hadn't thought about that. Huh.
Had you not? Those bandages were like the most outward thing about his design.
I know about the bandages. I hadn't thought of considering them as a reason for the swimming club.
There might be an injury under there. An exciting one.
Now that you mention it, I saw him wearing the same thing the first time we met. I must have missed it because he always has his collar done up. The conversation turned to idle nonsense. And though it solved none of her current problems, it did help calm Aoko's frazzled nerves. Aoko frazzled. Thanks, Alice. I'm good. I'm ready to go. Let's strike while the iron's hot and end this before he spreads any rumors. Pumped once more, Aoko turned her back to the school gate. For now, they could retire to the mansion and prepare for battle.
Sure, but when and where do you plan to kill him?
She said quietly, so as to not be overheard by anybody else. Normally, Aoko had to rein in that side of Alice, out in the open as they were, but this was far from a normal situation. Tonight, as for the place, we shall meet him in the land of dreams. She gave a fearless laugh. A strangely pleasant sound like the kind one would make when meeting their lover. Oh,
These girls
man.
are not normal.
These girls are not normal. I assume there's... Yep, that was it. Oh, man. Night of the Witches next. Oh, man. Oh, man.
Oh,
Oh,
man,
man.
oh man, oh boy!
Oh, what a fucking good. Oh, everything.
We're starting to like really trip on the like nitty gritty exciting stuff.
Yup. Oh, man. Oh, look at the like amusement park behind.
Mm-hmm.
He's working
God.
there.
This is the end ribs, dude. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, it's so good. I do believe this could be a good point for you to dip out.
It wouldn't be a bad one. I know it's still a little early, but I am still handling the aftershocks of a horrible schedule change.
Indeed.
How's the
This-
energy levels on you? Bad. Low battery. Plug me in immediately.
Yeah. So I'm going to
Needle
say
point
this. I don't know what's about to happen, but I know that something's about to happen. So I don't want to begin the next section with you on low battery at the tail end of the stream. This is something to save for the next time.
And hopefully as... When?
Alec has advice, apparently.
A pacing suggestion?
I could be willing to hear. Oh man, what? Oh, all of these characters are so good and so intricate.
Next bit will be multi-session. Let's fucking go. Yeah, and I do intend, again, to keep going longer. I'm building up my stamina for my Fridays, but when I'm not on camera, I have a very busy life in the lab.
So, chat, I am not going to out Anya or say anything that she couldn't say herself.
Yeah,
However,
dox me. Read my address out on stream right now. Go ahead.
I think I can feel the sniper pointing at me, making sure I don't say fucking anything about the lab. So let's not joke about that, okay?
Okay.
But yeah, if only you know, chat, how much she has to go through all the time.
That's so sweet. Thank you for the recognition.
Like, you need to understand that every single time there has been any kind of delay in Fate or Mahoyo, it's been some kind of disastrous occurrence. I feel so bad for you, girl.
The amount of things outside of my control that happen are remarkable. Especially because it's always new things. It's never the same thing twice.
It's kind of insane.
But yes, I am very looking forward to more of this. Every little bit more I see about these characters, I get more excited.
Yup. And I am so excited to see more of them using Magecraft. Oh. The battle scenes so far have been so fucking cool.
I can only imagine they get better.
I need to see like the fucking money shot of this VN. I need to see the big moment. I need to see what they do.
I know. I get the feeling there's gonna be a lot of big moments is the thing.
Steve? You're not even showing us Steve in the stream. You cannot even say anything about us. The 115 King?
No, he's right. I love him. Hi, Steve. Welcome. Thank you for the drive-by. Me bleeding out on the sidewalk. Thank you for the drive-by.
Thank you for the drive-by, says good say a fucking deer in the middle of the road.
I have told the Frogger story on stream several times.
You have, not in this stream, but you have.
Oh, God.
Anybody in this chat that doesn't follow you on Twitch is missing out on so much of your life lore.
That's all awful.
They don't even know about the hot stove.
They don't even know about my hot stove.
Do you really think that she's going to heaven, Steve?
I'm not going anywhere. I don't have a soul. I'm a robot.
Oh my god. No, but what about hangouts on the fiery pits? I was looking forward to it with you.
And I'm like extending my hand to you, like, there is a way I could get a soul.
I could let you.
Keep that one in the back pocket.
Oh man, this was great and can't wait for more. Yeah. I thank you so much for just being the best chat and the best co-host of this stream.
Thank you for being the best co-host and the second best chat after mine. Most of you are both anyways, so it's fine, but...
God.
Can't wait for next week.
Any mentions of your schedule and your streams you want to mention?
And tomorrow I'm doing more Elden Ring with Jackie, 10:30 EST, 7:30 EST on Tuesday. Steve and I are continuing No More Heroes. Wednesday, 1:30 EST, we are 1 EST, playing Mass Effect 2 with Sidani over on his channel. What else do I do? 7:30 on a Wednesday, Final Fantasy, and 7:30 on Thursday, Pokemon. And then, ideally, 5 o'clock, there's this girl I stream with sometimes named Whack, and I'll probably be over on her channel reading Mahoyo.
Crazy that. And
yeah, it's been pretty good so far.
And as for Wawa, this Sunday I'm hoping to start AI the Somnium Files. Wednesday we continue 9 Souls, which has been hitting me like a fucking truck. And then sometimes, like, just occasionally, like, I will stream with this, like, robot girl, like, on this channel on, like, Fridays. But, like, I don't know if you all want to see Mahoyo or not.
She sounds like she sucks.
No!
And then the Final Fantasy XIV VODs will be uploaded. Listen, okay, so I'm having, like, let me tell you about the snowballing problem with the Final Fantasy vids. I'm like 20 behind right now. That is so much footage that I have to upload. You don't even understand. And I know, like, it's really hard to find the space to set that aside and do it, but the longer I wait, the, like, exponentially worse this gets.
God.
Just want to push down the VODs with the real protagonist of this stream, Steve. It's true.
Steve.
Well, no, that doesn't even make sense, Steve, because you're in, like, 10 of those VODs.
It's true. Aww. Anyway.
Do what with your voice? Oh, is that Steve?
Steve, I don't want to alarm you, but you need to understand, cartoons are voiced by people as our mascot characters.
So I want you to know that that is not at all how I would have thought about that. I am, like, realizing for the first time that Meatwad was voiced by, like, a guy and they didn't just, like, put him up to a microphone.
What do you mean you're only just realizing that?
Like, okay, it's not like realizing, like, I thought it was opposite. It was more just, like, I've never consciously thought about that with, like, cartoon characters.
You've never thought that you can just Google that person's name and, like, see their other work?
No, like, I have, but for, like, animes, not for, like, cartoons.
Fair enough.
This is just a new thought. Like, it makes perfect sense. It's not that I thought it wasn't the case. It was more just, like, I've never considered that it was. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Don't worry about Steve freaking out. He does that.
Yeah, I know, but sometimes he's justified, and it's really hard to tell.
I don't think he's ever justified, actually, and we should, like, stringing him up by, like, his pinky toes.
Your vibes are ontologically bad.
Either way, this has been a wonderful stream.
think that George Lopez is being voiced by Mr. Electric? Well, no, because his face was right there. Wait, hey, sorry, random thing. Have you seen Shark Boy and Lava Girl Whack?
No, I have not.
Should watch that together sometime. It's
We should watch that together. I may have seen a analysis video of it at some point in the past, but I've not
It's not the
watched the
same.
actual thing. Yeah.
You gotta hit that shit raw.
Mm-hmm. The movie stock shit is so good. Maybe I will enjoy it with whimsy and like it for its own merits.
Or maybe you'll hate it.
Ah.
Anyway. Good stream.
Good stream. Thank you for being here, and I'll be seeing you next time.
Yeah, catch you later.
Bye-bye, chat. Bye.
Bye.
I may have picked the wrong music, and that was the intro and not the ending music. Don't worry about it. I was wondering, like, this ending music is going on way longer than I remember it going, huh? Curious that. Why the blush? Why the blush emojis in chat? Okay, goodbye.